So I got Windows 10, and even though it keeps pushing it, I'm still not going to use Bing. Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Duke and I'm the Duke of Italy, and welcome back to another video. And it is May 5th, May 18th, 2016, and today I am going to review Aliens Inhuman Condition. Now, you probably don't know this, but I got this from Amazon a little bit before my birthday because one of my books was gone. It was from one buyer, it was sold out, but this one I got it for $1.77, so I just had to get it. And to be honest, it's well worth the $1.77, even though it went up to like $5 from shipping. So yay! Alright, so I just want to say before we get anything started that I've decided to do this thing where I just stack some books and put this right here. If you guys don't like it, just tell me to change it and I'll put it back. And also I made a little display in the background just so this looks a little better. It's like, does this guy even like comic books? He doesn't seem to have any. So it's a bit more of that kind of vibe now. And let's start talking about this book. Now, if you see this thing, it doesn't really look like it, but it's almost like a picture book because like it's hardback, it's got picture cover. It's just a lot darker than most typical picture books. Like I'll just open it here and it looks a little like a picture book with dialogue. So the art style, it's a little weird. It makes everything look, it's not realistic, but everything just looks so much like, it's just weird. It's not quite like Frank Miller's art style, which is just fantastic, by the way. If you ever read any of his books, such as Dark Knight Returns, amazing art style. So check out his books. He also did some Daredevil stuff. Anyway, so it's like a fantasy-like thing. I can't really tell, but it's good. It's a nice art style. It's almost like I take a picture book and make it seem more smoky, if that's the word. That's not a word. It isn't the word, but it's like, let me just find the page here. Like the xenomorphs right here, they're purple instead of the normal thing, and they look a lot more brittle. Like they actually hear like a crack every time you hit them in the head or something like that. Let me get that better there. And there's also these robotic dudes, which are, if you've seen the movie, Bishop from Aliens is like that. So that is interesting. All right, moving on. Now the plot is it's about this girl called Jean DuPaul, probably in her late 20s, early 30s. Art style's a little hard to tell age, but she's got a family. Her child is a miscarriage, which this is revealed on like the second page, so it's not much of a spoiler. And she has a husband, and her job, which is really important, is with these android people. I forget the name, but I'll probably put it in some dialogue down here. It's not dialogue, subtitles. I'll put some subtitles down there for what the actual name of what they are. And so her job is to talk with these robot people in like a college classroom setting, and to make them seem more human, so that people aren't like, these guys are robots, they're a little creepy, to make them as realistic as possible. But she's like seeing what is happening to these robots. I keep calling them robots, and it's so weird to me. But she like sees what's happening to them, and it's kind of a very odd situation that she gets put in. But how the aliens are used in this book, it's kind of weird because it's uses more of like a pivot point than the whole plot. Like most alien stories, such as what I have up there is Aliens Fire and Stone. The entire plot of that is some people get marooned on a planet, and the aliens are trying to kill them. And this, it's people have the aliens contained, and they're trying to hunt them down. But as you see, that won't be how things turn out. And it starts, how it opens is when you open up like the first page, it'll have Miss DuPaul and the teddy bear. That is at the very end of the story. So if you get a little confused there, that'll go down in history for this channel. That isn't much history, but who cares? So it starts off at the very end, but it'll sort of snake back in. It starts off on a Sunday, and then it goes back to the previous Monday. Also, speaking of Sunday and Monday, is it goes by days, which I think is pretty interesting. It's not just a continuous story of, like, I'll just use Dark Knight Returns here for example. Dark Knight Returns, it just keeps going and going and going and going, and you can't tell how many nights it is. But this, it's all in a week, less than a week even. It's 6 days, minus some. And it's quite an interesting way of passing time. I mean, I know, like, Kill Bill and Quentin Tarantino movies do it like that, but it's just a little different in this, probably because they don't flashback as many times. And honestly, if I seem like I'm not if I'm repeating myself a lot, it's because this book is all very well connected, and that if I mention anything in particular, it'll kind of spoil a huge point. Like with these robot things, that's not much of a spoil because it's their job. It's background information, so you can know that right here without actually doing anything. And that day-to-day process is still, it's pretty interesting. And also at the very end, not the very end, but like the last couple days, it starts getting a twist here. Like, she starts off all nice, but it's slowly, you see a slow transformation of her character. And that's what I love so much about this book, is because it's more than plot. It's just more than a book. Like, if I want to find a complete opposite of it, it's probably this, 0 squared by 0 squared. I got this at Long Beach Comic Con a while ago, and if I'm completely honest, it's not good. It's completely plot, and there's nothing deep about it, and it's just a mess. It is a complete mess. So, like, I'm just flipping these just to keep my hands preoccupied, because other than doing this, how do you guys know, that's how I keep my hands occupied. But yeah, it's more than plot. That's how my English teacher would put it. Thank you, Dr. Coriati. It's more than plot. It's not just progression. It's got symbolism a little bit of its own caliber, how it, like, implants these things, and it talks about a lot of human nature. That's why it's called Inhuman Condition. Whoa, connections. That's another thing that we like in 9th grade honors English. So it's got a lot of the important things in literature, but it's in, like, a comic story. This is a graphic novella, so you can't get this in multiple issues. And it seems really short, but in reality, it's like 50 pages. So you'll get surprised when you finish the whole thing in one day. But now for the final rating. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. Now, you might be like, dude, what the heck are you doing? This should be a 10 out of 10 from how you've been describing it. Yeah, it's a little confusing, and some of the parts just don't entirely click. But it's a lot better than most of the other things I've seen. Even with Suicide Squad, which is mostly plot, it's just got such a dark vibe that you can't really tell. This also has a dark vibe, but you could see some of the connections, the Inhuman Condition part of it. That, like, you're thinking with the fact that this is Aliens Inhuman Condition, they're like, oh, it's probably just like aliens with humans popping out of them, and they're like, oh, that's not nice, stop doing that to humans. But no, it's with the robots, how you see them as, like, such a villain in parts of the movies, and you can't really tell. So it's a 9 out of 10. Great read. I definitely recommend it. And it's a little confusing, but, like, you'll get it if you're good enough. And if I'm completely honest, Jean DuPaul is not my favorite character, but they use her in such a way that you just can't help but like her. Even though she's done some weird things, you can't help but like her. And that's about the end of my review. Thank you guys for watching. If you could leave a like, leave a comment, share this video with your friends. That would be greatly, greatly appreciated. I want to start getting this channel better. But, you know, that's a impossible request. Thank you for watching. And I guess I'll see you guys later. Arrivederci.